Shut up and sit down.
This is the Uncensored Voice. No bullshit, just real shit.
Discussing things that will stir the pot. Only here on the Uncensored Voice.
With your host, Ricky Midnight.
Hey guys, this is Ricky Midnight.
And this is Zach Mullins.
This is the Uncensored Voice. And Zach, you were mentioning on the last podcast that you wanted to talk about Christian values. Is that right?
Not necessarily Christian values. I wanted to talk about when we first came to America.
Okay, let's talk about that.
So, why do you think the British started coming to America?
Why do I think the British started coming to America?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was because they were seeking something, and they were trying to get to the Indies. They were looking for spices. Is that not right?
No, actually.
Tell me about it.
Like I'm talking about in like droves, like they started sending, like to
Oh.
colonize America.
Okay. Why did they start coming? Because they were promised land.
But why were they promised land?
Because I don't know. They wanted to get people over here so they can tax them.
Okay, no. So all right. So in Britain and England at that time, so they were having a big issue with crime.
Okay.
And they were running out of jail space, right? And they saw America as something that could be profitable, but they weren't sure.
Okay, I did not know this.
Yeah.
Good.
And so instead of jail sentences, they promised like criminals and like low people on the totem pole free land
Okay.
in America. And what
To get them out of the country.
exactly.
That sounds good, like a plan. Okay.
And their rationale behind it is like, okay, if they can make something out of nothing, then we know we can start sending them over in droves.
Then we can send real people over. Okay.
and actually,
non-criminals.
and actually build
Yeah.
something that's very profitable for our
I
country.
like that. Okay.
So that's like the
That's actually a pretty good idea.
that was the main thing that brought people over here.
I didn't know that.
Originally.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's a good idea.
I mean, and then, but and that's the thing. There's a lot of lost history because I mean, when you look at it, history is wrote by the winners, and history is what they want it to be, especially in that kind of time. Which is one good thing that has came from our generation and our current time because everything's on tape. Everyone records everything.
Yeah. Nowadays, yeah.
And you can follow the money, and you can find out why things are happening.
Yeah.
And it was just an interesting point to kind of jump off of for this podcast. And then so that was basically all I had to say. It shouldn't have.
That's all I got to say about that.
I mean, pretty much. I mean, it's a pretty easy thing to look at. I mean, you could keep on going, and if you went through history the way that it's unfolded, you can. It's kind of more difficult to demonize one specific group of people when you look at history through the overall lens. So, like, one thing that I've seen, I mean, I don't know, we may edit this and we may go back over it.
Okay.
Because it may ruffle some feathers.
Oh, well, that's what we're here for.
And so when you look at things like when we came over here and we drove the Indians out, they were like,
Okay.
I've seen a lot of people, well, the Native Americans were the originals, everyone else is immigrants. Well, technically, when you go back and you look at all history, the human race pretty much originated from Africa. So if you were
Continent, yeah.
so
It's a continent, by the way.
So if you weren't from Africa, born and raised, and then your grandparents and all the way back to the very first people that were there, then you're an immigrant.
Yes.
So the Native Americans were immigrants, and when we came over there, they were already at war with their own tribes. There was already tribal warfare and things like that. And then you go a little bit farther. Slavery has been an issue in every single race in every single country since the dawn of time. Just because we were one of the last people to abolish it doesn't mean that it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But
everybody's done it.
But
every continent.
But the thing about it is we're still feeling the stings of what our great grandfather did.
Well, here's what I think. I think that a lot of people who we're talking about slavery here, okay? I think a lot of people who were never slaves are just jumping on the bandwagon because they want to get retribution. So we're not going to harp on that too much, but the Indians had slaves. Africans had slaves. The white people from Norway had slaves. Every continent and every society has had slaves throughout history. So for the people today to say, hey, look, you owe us reparations. No. If that's the case, then I'm owed reparations because my people were enslaved too. It wasn't me, but my ancestors were enslaved. Your ancestors were enslaved. Everybody's ancestors were enslaved at one point. So no, nobody owes anybody anything.
And we're gonna, and I feel like this one's just gonna kind of jump around.
Yeah.
Since we're kind of going off script. No.
A little bit. Yeah.
Nothing.
We always do.
And the one thing that I do see, and it's being prominent in the news, and I hope people see it, is that now they're not preaching equality anymore. They're preaching equity.
Yeah.
And those two things are not the same thing. Equity is bad. Equity is very, very bad. Equality is good. Equality is everyone has the same opportunity, the same chance. Equity is everyone gets the same thing. Doesn't matter what you do.
Socialism.
And that is horrible.
It's called socialism.
And they are preaching it. See, we're trying to make everything equitable. That's not good.
No.
It's not good at all.
I explained it one time. I was explaining it to somebody on Facebook. What it basically means is, let's say Zach works really hard, gets a good education, or he's he's just a hard worker and he does a bang up job. He's a really good salesman, or he's a really good airplane pilot, or he's really good at running electrical lines to the wall, and he got himself a degree and he's good at it. And I'm not good at anything I do. I suck and I'm lazy and I like to sit around doing anything. He is just as wealthy as I am. I'm taking money from here and it's to be shared. That's what he's talking about here, and that's called socialism. So that's what we're talking.
And one of the best American models for socialism and how messed up it is. Look at the American military.
Yeah.
That is the biggest socialistic type thing we have in America. You could both be private first classes. One could get in constant trouble, screw everything up, and just suck. The other one could be making ideas, innovating things, doing things like that. Now, granted, he's not going to stay a private first class as long as the next guy, if he gets a meritorious promotion, right? But they're still going to get paid the same while they still hold that same rank, and that, to me, that's not fair.
Well, it's not fair, but that's not exactly the same thing. A good example would be kind of like I was a police officer, and as a police officer, I did my job very well, right? I treated everybody the same, not because everyone should have been treated the same, but because the law says everyone should be treated the same. That's it. I did what my job was. My job was to treat everyone the same. That's what I did. And I know several officers who sucked really bad at their job. They just sucked, and they didn't treat everyone the same. They got promotions. But we're not talking about that. We're talking more about socialism, meaning he works his butt off and he earns money, and I don't. I'm a lazy asshole, and we're both equally wealthy. That's socialism. That's wrong.
And there's another thing that builds off of that. It starts there, but then they're like, so say I'm smart enough to be a doctor.
Yeah.
I want to be a doctor. No, you're not going to be a doctor.
No, we want you to be a painter.
We want you to be a custodian.
Ooh, custodian is a good one.
We want you to muck the horse stalls.
That's right.
Because that's what you're supposed to do.
That's your lot in life.
And the thing about that is people are talking about the wealth gap in our country, which it is massive. The wealth gap is a real thing, and it's massive in here. But it's going to get even worse when you go into that type of governmental structure.
Well, to kind of conclude this, I know we don't want to harp on one subject too long. To kind of conclude this, look what happened in the USSR. They did this socialism thing, and it didn't work, and it collapsed their government, and they're still kind of reeling from it. And that was, when did it collapse? In 1989? And they're still reeling from it.
I wasn't alive.
No, he wasn't. But hey, look, let me ask you. Don't look at the screen over here, Zach. Let me ask you. I'm going to ask you some things here, okay? We're going to kind of quiz Zach on the Bill of Rights. Okay, don't look at the screen. Don't be cheating. Okay. All right. Now you don't have to tell me each individual one. What are the Bill of Rights? It's a real simple one. Don't look at the screen.
The Bill of Rights.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the first 10 amendments? To
There
the
you go.
Constitution?
First 10 amendments to the Constitution. Okay, what does the First Amendment cover? You don't have to be word for word. What does it cover? There's a few that. Go ahead.
Freedom of speech.
Okay, that's the main thing. What does the Second Amendment cover? Okay, you're cheating,
okay.
Zach. You're cheating. Zach is cheating. Second Amendment. Come on, look at my cap over there. I'm always talking about the Second Amendment. What's it cover?
Well, I mean that's guns.
Yeah,
the
gun thing.
The militia.
Well-armed militia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the right to have a well-armed militia. Okay, so basically, what a reason why I'm bringing this up is most people don't understand what the Bill of Rights are. Bill of Rights are the first 10 amendments. There's a lot of amendments.
The
But-
the fourth one is the seizure.
The right for people to not have unreasonable searches and seizures
Seizures.
upon themselves or their property.
And then the fifth is trial by jury.
No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a
Due process. Yep.
yeah. The due process is the easiest way to
was-
say it. Okay.
I was right.
The Sixth Amendment is
The speedy public trial.
Okay. The Seventh Amendment is
I don't know this one. It's talking about common law, where the value in the controversy shall exceed $20. The right of trial by jury. That's trial by jury.
okay. The right for
Seventh.
trial by jury. That's okay. The Seventh Amendment. The Eighth Amendment is
The
talking about excessive bail, right? You can't say, okay, you're in here for soliciting, and a police officer pulled you over for soliciting. We're going to set your bond at $12 million, right? So the right to no excessive bail, right?
Mhm.
And then the Ninth Amendment is certain rights shall be considered denied, disparage others retained by the people. I don't know. I don't understand this one. What is this one?
The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage others
I can-
retained by the people.
I can read it. I don't understand it though. Okay, we'll have to revisit this one, Zach. How about the 10th Amendment? This one I'm really familiar with. The other ones as well, except for the ninth one.
The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution nor prohibited by it to the states are reserved to the states respectively or to the people.
The reason why this one, I've always known this one. We had to study all these the Bill of Rights when I became a police officer,
Mhm.
right? I don't remember the ninth one, but we had to study all of them. The reason why this one is so important is, and it just recently happened this last September 1st. It just happened 28 days ago. The rights, basically what it says is, the rights not given to the federal government, the United States government, are reserved for the states. And who, through election, who decides what happens in the state? That would be the governor.
The governor.
Okay. So when the governor says, and these powers are not given to the federal government, when the governor says you cannot make people wear masks, or you cannot force, or you can, we do not allow you to make or allow women to have abortions, and if you do, then you're open for a lawsuit because it's against the Constitution. Little things like that. And I'm not harping on each individual thing. I'm just saying if the governor says these things will not happen or these things will happen, whatever it is, and you do not comply, you are actually, and I'm talking about the federal government, you are actually in violation of the Constitution, which would be what that the senile old dude is in violation. If he's in violation of the Constitution, he does not have the power to tell the states what they have to do. In a story, that's the governor's right. So, but that's what the 10th Amendment is. That's what the 10th Amendment is. Any powers not given to the federal government are reserved for the states. Reserved for the states. And actually, it says right there, exactly in those words, are reserved to the states respectively. Bam. So, anyway, that's the first 10 amendments, the Bill of Rights. So if you ever hear that, there's a show that Star Trek. It was called I think it was Bread and Circuses. I think it was, and they actually talk about this. I really like it. It was a pretty cool show. Are you familiar with the original series of Star Trek? No, you're a Star Wars guy.
I've probably seen it. I've seen so much Star Trek and things over the years, but I mean, it just never really kind of fit my fancy.
Yeah, you're more of a Star Wars guy. I still need to watch The Mandalorian. I know, is it over or is it still being done?
I mean, they're coming out with a new season.
Okay.
and they're actually going to come out with a Kenobi series too.
I've heard about the Kenobi series, and that's going to have Ewan McGregor in it, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. It's also going to have Hayden Christensen in it.
Oh, okay. Is he going to be in it, or is his character going to be in it?
Anakin Skywalker.
Which is going to be Anakin.
Yeah.
Is it going to be Hayden Christensen, or is it just going to be Anakin?
It's going to be Hayden Christensen as Darth Vader.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, I need to hurry up and get on this crap.
Yeah.
I need to start watching it.
These next couple years are going to be really, really huge for Star Wars.
And I have to have
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus to do it. Okay, I'm going to have to look into getting Disney Plus or something.
And there's certain... Who do you have for your phone?
For my phone? You mean cell phone?
Mm-hmm.
I'm T-Mobile.
Oh.
Why? Who are you with?
AT&T.
AT&T gives it to you for free?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll have to switch.
That's like, it's like $50 a month for me, and then I get ESPN Plus, and I get Disney Plus for free.
Okay, well, I have all three of us, me, my wife, and my stepson, on there, and it's almost $200 a month, unlimited everything. It's almost $200.
It'd be worth it to look into AT&T.
I should probably do it. Well, I'm still paying on my phone, so I guess I can't leave yet unless I pay off my phone, right?
But I don't know. I'll talk to them. They do a lot of deals.
Huh, maybe they will. So anyway, that's the Bill of Rights is the first 10 amendments. And the reason why the 10 amendments are, and the reason why it's called the Bill of Rights, because those first 10 amendments are the most important for pretty much everybody in America. And unfortunately, if we do not make sure those Bill of Rights are followed, we're going to lose our guns, we're going to lose our right to free speech, and uncensored voice. If we lose our right to free speech, then we don't have a show anymore, do we?
Oh, no, we'll always have a show.
We'll always have a show, even if it has to be underground. If we have to be in international waters broadcasting to you people, we will be.
I mean, we don't even have to do that now. We have VPNs and things that can bounce
our signal. We can hide. We can hide, yeah. So, but, yeah, hey, guys, this is Ricky Midnight.
And this is Zach Mullins.
Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for listening to The Uncensored Voice.
Make sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. And remember, on The Uncensored Voice, we tell it like it is.
So be safe, my friends, and may God bless America.